Congressman Kelly, welcome back to Made in America.
Oh, thanks, Neal. It's good to be with you and Rich again. Thanks so much for having me on.
So I got a note from someone this morning knowing I was going to be on the air, and they said, before we start giving anything to refugees, we should provide housing to our homeless vets. I mean, that sounds like a good something that we should be doing, and it should be something that should be at the front of our hearts. And then you have the whole jobs issue, and what would happen if we had another terrorist attack, and what that would do to our economy. I mean, this is a very complicated issue. But Rich and I have both heard that there's refugees heading to Pennsylvania. So what do you say about this?
Well, where we are right now, and I mean this sincerely, anybody that's sitting back right now, and we just had our vote, the American Safe Act, which would prevent this influx, a large number, 10,000 refugees, Syrian refugees, coming from Syria. We don't know that they're Syrian. They have no documentation on them that's valid or that's credible. 10,000 in the next 6 weeks. Now, that process, fellas, think about this. Under normal conditions, it takes 18 to 24 months, so a year and a half to 2 years to actually do a vetting process to make sure that people that are coming into our country are actually people that we can consider as safe, and they're not going to do us harm. The president has suggested that we'll do this 10,000 next 6 weeks, and I think that probably listen to what the FBI says, because that's truly non-political, what they have to say about it. When you ask them, is there a vetting process in place that we can rely on, the answer is absolutely not. So we had our vote today, and overwhelmingly it passed the House of Representatives, which I expected it to do. And this really comes down to, I don't know why we have to make a mockery of people who say we need to defend our homeland, that we have to protect our citizens, and then turn it into some type of a political statement that makes absolutely no sense to clear-thinking, common-sense people, and those are the type of people that actually live in this country. They look at this and say, you want to really debate as to whether you should shut off this stream of people you don't really know anything about? Yeah, that's the case. But we did pass it today, fellas, so that's up and running. But now, having said that, this is one of those concerns that it's going to take every single one of us, and I'm talking about every single American, to be vigilant. That's my greatest fear. And I don't think we need to cower. We don't need to lock ourselves in our home, but we have to be aware of what's going on around us. So keeping your eyes open and your ears open and looking for unusual people who you wouldn't see in your town before. It may be at the high school football game. It may be at your daughter or your granddaughter's dance recital. It may be at Chuck E. Cheese for a birthday party, because these are the soft targets that these people, I believe, are going to hit. And I have my friends back in Pittsburgh saying, well, geez, we got to be real careful with the Steeler games. I said, you know what? You got to be careful everywhere. You got to be careful when you're having lunch at McDonald's, because this is what these people do. We have history on it. We're watching what they're doing. So, fellas, make a long story short, we have to protect the people that sent us here to make the decisions that really do involve keeping them safe. So this one, to me, has become kind of bizarre. I've never understood why we would have to have a debate when it comes to national security. I don't know why we'd ever have to have a debate. Some of the things you just discussed, I really do believe that charity begins at home. Cover your concerns at home first, and then go out and help people. There's no other country in the world that is more supportive of people who are in a bad situation. We do support refugees, but until we know who they are, and keep in mind, they're coming from an area of the world where the documentation doesn't exist. And we're going by kind of the honor system of saying, who are you? What do you want to do here? Where are you going? Why are you fleeing? So I think we have to be very careful. The whole world right now is on fire, and the whole world needs to be on watch. And we have to become united as a humanity, not as just an individual country, but as a humanity, to make sure that this horrible, horrible, outrageous group of evil people that are out there right now, and their answer to everything is we must kill anybody who doesn't agree with us, that we do the same thing to them. We return the favor, make sure. You want to stop them early, stop them quickly, and let them go ahead and prefer to stand before the judgment seat of God to defend what they've done. I don't want them in my town. I don't want them in my state. I don't want them in my country. And I think any member of Congress that says anything different is in denial. Certainly we know the White House is one of the biggest problems that's created this. Our denial of what's going on has emboldened and encouraged these people to do what they're doing. And that type of behavior is no longer acceptable, and I'm tired of being lectured by somebody who never actually has had to worry about wearing a uniform or worry about defending his country, and is willing to put people at risk in order to preserve whatever he thinks is his legacy. But when this man, one man's legacy, overshadows the safety and the security of the American people, then I've got a real problem